Well, as of the recording of this video, it's been 3 to 4 weeks since I started playing World of Warcraft Classic. This is with no prior experience of World of Warcraft at all, really, bar maybe a couple of hours in retail here and there. For the most part, I've been having a fantastic time, really just enjoying the pace of the game. I enjoy that it's slow, you know. I've come from games like Final Fantasy XIV, I played Guild Wars 2, BDO. I enjoy the raw experience of this game. But what I will say is nothing until this point and nothing until today has really slapped me in the back of the head. Like, you know, that moment where it's like, this is going to be trouble for me now. I am incredibly hooked. The moment that from 2004 hooked all of those people, I still guess up until even now, even up until this point. And there's a reason why we're sat here, because this moment is exactly in this location. This is where it happened. I really enjoy the exploration of this game. I feel like the world building and the world exploration of World of Warcraft Classic is second to none. I actually feel like outside of combat, outside of dungeons, farming for gear and loot, I feel like exploring the world could quite easily be its own game. It really, really is that good. So that's what I like to do, especially now. I'm a druid, I'm level 30, I've just got my travel form, so I feel like I'm traveling at lightning pace, darting around, doing quests, finding all the nooks and crannies, and I guess that's ultimately what led me here. And being in Astronaut and around this sort of area is where I love to be. I love the night elf kind of theme. I love the forest theme here. It all seems so whimsical and mystical, but also kind of heartwarming and welcoming at the same time. I love the color palettes, the ambient noise. It's just generally a good experience and a good time. So long story short, I'm traveling along the beach, killing some of these, I guess, like mermaid people, and just kind of exploring, you know, just running along. And I happened to spot in the distance this kind of like Aztec building. Well, ultimately what you see behind me, and these illuminated set of stairs. I was like, that's cool. Maybe we go down there. Maybe there's like a chest that I can open, or maybe there's an elite mob that I have to group up and, you know, potentially kill. So I guess my curiosity gets the better of me. I'm then traveling down these stairs to realize it's like a spiral staircase which is illuminated as the light from the water is bouncing around these square walls as you go down, and reality starts to set in that this is more than just, I guess, a hole in the floor. You look down, there's a pool of water, which is clearly something you can swim in, and I'm a druid, I have an aquatic form, swimming is great for me, I can do it pretty quick. So I get down in the pool of water and I'm like, okay, now I understand. My exploration has not only been rewarded, but it's left me with more mystery, because I guess we've been trained with MMOs that you get to the bottom of this area, you're expecting maybe one mob to be there, you kill it, you get a reward, maybe there's a chest, and maybe, depending on what you're playing, maybe there's nothing. But WoW Classic is here, I'm traveling to this area, I'm going down into the water, I start to swim down and realise, this leads back up again. So I come back up and I come back onto the land, and I'm greeted by a plethora of elite enemies. And this is where I sit back in my chair and I'm like, wow. Excuse the pun, but yeah, wow. I mean, at this point, in the back of my mind, I'm thinking, a few levels ago, I started to get a lot of quests for Black Fathom Deeps. And I thought, well, I'm not really one to search out dungeons. Okay, I don't like Googling things and kind of working out where things are. I just like to explore. So I thought, I kind of parked with the quest to the side. I thought, well, you know, I'm not really going to go and chase it, but if it happens, it happens. And I'm so glad to say that this was the dungeon that I found completely by accident, with zero guidance, just following my nose. And very quickly, there was a party of people that I looked in at Party Finder that I managed to group up with. And it was such a seamless experience. You know, you've taken a digital copy of yourself on this journey that was ultimately meant to go nowhere, and you've been rewarded for your, I guess, curiosity. The further and further I travel down this pathway, which, bearing in mind, I'm not even in the dungeon yet, I'm looking around, I'm recording gameplay as I'm going along. I'm like, oh my god, I'm chatting in Discord to my brother, and I'm like, dude, this is sick. I didn't even know there was a dungeon here, but this is sick. And I'm having a proper new player moment. I'm like, wow, like, if this is what people are experiencing, bearing in mind I'm only level 30, and I think this is like a 20-ish dungeon, I cannot wait to see what's waiting for me at later levels. Yes, has it been a bit of a grind to get here? Absolutely. But my god, is it so worth it. And bearing in mind, all of this has happened before we've even got into the dungeon, because as you're traveling down into the cavern, you've traversed out of the water, you're going down into the cavern, the color palette changes, and you see it, the blue swirl, the entrance to the dungeon, and you're like, this is it, boys. This is where it gets good. This is, well, I say gets good. This is where things kick off, you know? We get into the dungeon, and I just need to say, for me, this was the perfect dungeon for a druid. There was land elements that I could I just do my thing on. There was water, loads of water elements, actually, that I could ultimately go into my aquatic form and have a great time with. I wasn't tanking. We had a warrior for the tank, of course. We had a paladin, which was healing alongside a priest, and I was just kind of filling between DPS and healing if needed, but it was such a good time. And I was a little bit, truthfully, over-leveled for the dungeon. Oh, God, there's so many memorable moments. You've got NPCs that you can chat to inside of here. You've got, I mean, I won't spoil it. Is it a spoiler? This dungeon's been out for forever, but you've got hidden bosses in water. You've got, well, ultimately when you think you're done, you've got rituals you need to do with candles that you light, and then it opens up these grand, you know, like vast doors that lead into like another subsection of the dungeon. And then, oh fuck it, I'm gonna say it anyway. I'm really sorry. If you don't want spoilers, turn this off now. Right at the end, the Hydra. Oh my God, you're walking down and you can just see the Hydra in the distance, and you're like, just when you thought you'd cleared all of the bosses, you know, you've killed the waves and waves of enemies from the candle ritual. You've traversed through multiple different parts of the cavern. You've fought enemies and bosses in the water, out of the water. And just when you think it couldn't get any better, there it is. At the back of the dungeon, a 3-headed Hydra, and you're like, this is it for me. Like, I don't even care about gear anymore. And then I realized in that moment, I think I've had the moment. I think this is it. I think this is the point now where I am well and truly sold. I do not know many experiences, and I'm sure there might be some out there, but I don't know many experiences that allow you, I guess experiences, I should say games. I don't know many games that will allow you to experience what I've experienced in such a seamless way. The fact that you can take yourself to the area, whether you know it's there or not, you can then explore that area, even all the way up to the actual dungeon wall if you want. You don't even have to go in. You could farm the mobs on the outside if you want to. Not sure why you'd want to, but you can. Some dungeons have certain elements where you need to pick up certain items outside of the dungeon wall, and what that does is it kind of breeds curiosity, because people end up going, well, I'm here anyway, I'm here to pick up this item, maybe I should see if someone wants to run a dungeon. And Blizzard, listen, I'm going to leave all opinions aside for Blizzard, because that's not what this is about, but Blizzard in this time frame, I feel like have done a fantastic job, not just pushing the boundaries of what they can create with a product and the experience within, but what they can also push in terms of social construct as well, because this experience for me, to many of you, will look like I've just ran on a beach, found a dungeon, and I'm just crying about it. And honestly, I'm not even mad. This experience for me has been the MMO experience. It's been the experience that I've wanted since, I don't know, I realised I could walk from Lumbridge to Falador and then teleport back or something in old school RuneScape. This has just been one of those moments where I am just so happy to be here. And the fact that it's taken the best part of 20 years, we're going to park that. No, that doesn't need to be said. But I am so thankful. And to those of you that have watched any of the videos on this channel, been, I guess, watching my progress, level my character, experience Classic for the first time, and experience what I would consider to be a real MMO, outside of the expansions, which I know from what people have said, I guess, tail off and change the dynamic a little bit. But to those of you that have said, look, just stick with Classic, stick with the Druid, enjoy the game, and you'll have that moment. I believe you now more than ever. And I'd love to hear experiences from you guys as well. What were the moments when you were playing, whether it's recently or even all the way back then, that you can go, yeah, do you know what? I feel the same. I remember when X, Y, and Z happened to me, because that'd be really, really cool to hear. It's just a little update video, just to kind of like hand on heart, open my mind, here's my thoughts. If you guys enjoyed, leave a like, subscribe for more content just like this, specifically about World of Warcraft Classic, and I'll see you in the next one.